Hey guys, welcome to M&MM IELTS. Today I'll be sharing about agree disagree essay writing for your IELTS exam. Now, out of 5 different types of essay writings that you have, agree disagree is one of them, and I would say it is one of those most repeated type of essay, and hence it should be a priority to practice it and to master this type of essay so that whenever you get your exam, you give your exam, you're able to solve this essay very easily and get your desired band. Now, what I'll be doing is I'll be covering a few key points about agree disagree essay, and then we'll discuss a sample answer, an 8-band sample answer, wherein we will go through the entire essay and see, and we'll break a code. We'll see what is written in the essay and why did that sample essay got 8 band, and what were the key factors that contributed towards that score, and what does the IELTS instructor that checks the paper felt after reading that essay answer, and why did they give 8 band and why did they not get 9 band, what could have been the missing factor. So we'll break that code today, so do watch the entire video so that you get an idea of how to write a perfect essay. Let's get started. So the topic that we will be discussing today for our agree disagree essay is children brought up in poor families are better prepared to deal with the adult's life than children brought up by wealthy people. And then obviously you have saying, do you agree or disagree with this essay, with this title I mean, and share your views. So whenever you have been given a sentence, a topic, and you are asked to agree or disagree, so the word or is very important. It says agree or disagree. So which means you have to take a stand. It has to be either agree or disagree. If you write an essay where you are taking a neutral stand and you are agreeing and disagreeing both, then you will not get a very good score, because you have been asked to take a stand, to share your opinion about any one of them. So just sharing your opinion about any one of them is approximately 25% of your scores. And 25% is a lot of percent, because it's like 1/4 of your mark is just dependent on your stand. So they don't care if you agree or disagree, but all they care about is at least you should either agree or disagree. So that is the first thing that I would share. Now, moving on, you have to keep in mind that few things you should not miss in your essay, and that is the reason for your point of view. So whenever you have a point of view, you should have a reason for it. You should share the reason, that why do you feel you agree or disagree. That reasoning is very, very important. And also your opinion, whatever your opinion is, it should be consistent throughout the essay. As in, if you agree to the topic, you have to make sure that till the end of your essay, whatever you write is consistently in regards to you agree with that topic. In case you agree, if you disagree, then obviously it has to disagree. So you can't do that first paragraph you agree and then second paragraph you write something which shows that you don't totally agree about it, you kind of disagree sometimes, and third paragraph you write something where you agree. Don't do that. It has to be a consistent opinion. All right, that is very important for a good score. The next thing that is important is you have to make sure that you give details for your examples as well, which means you also need to write examples. Whenever we say something in our life, for example, if I give you a simple sentence, okay, let's say the education system has completely changed these days and it is all online. Let's say I've given this sentence, so which means I'm talking about online education. All right, now once I have given something, a sentence, if I say after that 78% students in Australia prefer learning or studying online than going to schools and facing the physical education system. Now I have given you some data, some example. Whenever you give such data, such examples, need not be data always, but some example, it supports your opinion. It supports what you are saying. All right. Again, whatever you write need not be very accurate knowledge wise, as in if we Google and if we find out that whatever you have written is not accurate, it has some number errors or some kind of error but not English error, then you will still get your score. You're giving this exam because you want to show that you can read, write, listen and speak English, not that because your general knowledge is very good. So don't worry about how your general knowledge is getting tested. That's least of their concern. All right. So writing an example that supports your opinion or your idea, this is, let's say, an idea, is very, very important. And there should be something detailed explanation of your example as well. So after completing your example, you should not leave your paragraph. You should write down at least one sentence that explains your example. Why is this the trend? Example is always some sort of trend, like 48% students in Asian countries prefer online education system. This is an example, but why they prefer online education system, something related to that one sentence is a detailed explanation of the example that supports your example. This together makes a good paragraph, which means idea, an example that supports idea, and a little detailed explanation of the example. All right. This is like a code, I would say. It makes a very good paragraph. Also, you have to make sure that your essay should definitely have an introduction and conclusion. So one paragraph should be dedicated strictly to introduction, which is the first paragraph, and the last paragraph should look like a conclusion. So, and conclusion and introduction should always be short and straight to the point. It should not be an elaboration. It should just look like you're introducing something, and conclusion should look like you are just concluding the topic. That's it. But this adds a lot of value to your essay and it gives you a great score. So this is again very important. All right. Now let us have a look at the 8-band example so that we understand what are the expectations set up by IELTS instructors who check our paper. Now this is an essay written by some student obviously, and it is shared by IELTS. All right, so this is an official essay that has been shared by them, and this essay got 8 bands, which means we are fairly looking at a good essay. We are not looking at something which is not worth looking at, right? Because in IELTS writing, let's be very honest, getting 8 band is not a piece of cake. We need a lot of hard work. We need to be very sincere, and we need to put a lot of efforts to get 8 in writing. Getting 8 in other bands is a different story. But getting 8 in writing means the student has definitely put in a lot of efforts. So let us go through the essay. And also, if you look at the essay, you will find that this essay is very simple and straight to the point. So the reason I'm sharing this is because it is not that if you write down a very complicated essay with a lot of jargons or very difficult words, only then you get a good score. No, that's not the case. If you keep it simple, if you discuss what you should be discussing, and if you're straight to the point, you will get a good score. Now, straight to the point doesn't mean that you don't explain anything, but straight to the point means you don't get off track. If you're talking about global warming, you talk about global warming. You don't talk about inflation then, right? So this is what I'm trying to say when I say straight to the point. Now, let us see if the points that we discussed a few minutes ago that contributes in carving a good essay, are they there in this essay or not? And if something is missing, then what is missing? All right. And if you were the student, what else you would have had it added to get a good score? Feel free to share that in the comment section below. So let us start. Now, the first paragraph should be introduction. I do agree to the statement that children brought up in poor families are better prepared to deal with the problems of adult life than brought up by wealthy people. This is my introduction. Done and dusted. This is my introduction, which is absolutely simple and straight to the point. There is a statement given to you and you are asked to agree or disagree. This student has made it very clear to the examiner that I agree with this statement, and it is absolutely okay to copy down the exact same statement without paraphrasing. And if you want to paraphrase, you can paraphrase a little bit. Both are correct. So don't think only paraphrasing is a good way of getting a good score. Don't take that pressure in the first paragraph. But what did we learn? Just be very clear whether you agree or disagree with that sentence, and that's it. Your first paragraph is already taken care. Not that difficult to understand. Okay, let us move to the second paragraph. All right, if we move to the second paragraph, let us see what they are now doing. Children of poor parents are prematurely exposed to the problems of adult life. So now he has given a sentence. Okay, we will break it down further. Example: learning to survive on a low family income and sacrificing luxuries for essential items. Okay, so there is an example. These children began to see the realities of life in their home or social environment. Their parents' own struggles serve as an example to them. All right. Now, what this student has done is, first, he or she has written an idea. Children of poor parents are prematurely exposed to the problems of adult life. Now he has shared an idea. So if you have watched our essay video, we have shared in that video that first 5 minutes is very crucial when you start writing your essay, because that's when you sit and write down your ideas. So this is his idea one, or her idea one. Children of poor parents are prematurely exposed to the problems of adult life. Now he's giving a reasoning why he agrees with the sentence. This is a reason. Okay, because the student feels that children of poor parents are prematurely exposed to the problems of adult life. So he means, or she means, that when they are very young, they just face all those difficult challenges in life when they are very young. Okay, which may not be the case if you are brought up in a wealthy family, right? So first thing is reasoning. Then the student has immediately given an example to support the reasoning, which we discussed right now, that an idea, then an example to support your idea. What is the example? Learning to survive on a low family income. Okay, because if we are talking about poor family, that means the income is not great. Low family income and sacrificing luxuries for essential items. So now giving an example that, okay, what can happen or what actually happens because of this idea, which is that they face a lot of challenges when they are very young. He or she has given an idea that because there is low family income, they cannot have the luxuries and they just need to survive on the essentials, which is like food, clothing, and shelter. You can also elaborate by saying food, clothing, and shelter. Maybe if you elaborate a little bit by using those words, you may get a little more, little extra score for that. All right. Now, after the example is completed, the student has now given a little detailed explanation about the example. What is that? These children began to see realities of life in their home or social environment. Okay. Their parents' own struggles serve as an example to them. So over here, instead of two sentences, you can also write it as one sentence, saying that the young kids, they face a lot of challenges in young age when they see their parents struggling for money and for basic necessities of life, and that becomes their moral example. All right. Now, it is not that you have to write two different sentences. You can write two different sentences. You can write one sentence. But the long and short of the story is, a good paragraph to support would be, to support your opinion would be that first you write down an idea, then you give an example of how your idea can be supported, why you feel that idea is correct. You need to give an example for that, and just explain your example a little in detail after the example ends. All right, so that is a good code to practice. Now let's move on to the next paragraph. Again, let's start. These children are taught necessary skills for survival as an adult from a very early age. again an idea. So this is my idea 2 for my body 2. Okay, I can call this paragraph as body 1. I can call this paragraph as body 2. So idea 2. Now, after the idea, what has the student done? Many children, example, work in the weekends or holidays to either collect some extra pocket money or even contribute to their family's income. So again, the same strategy, and that is idea, which is this. These children are taught necessary skills for survival as an adult from a very early age. So now over here you have written that children learn a lot. In example, you can also write that children learn cleaning the cars and houses of wealthy people for their survival, and they do it during the weekends or during their holidays after school to earn some extra money and contribute towards their family income. This is what basically the student is trying to say. You could include examples saying that what are the odd jobs that children do at young age to add some income in their family, like cleaning. Cleaning is a good example, right? So you could have added that. Maybe that could have given the student a little extra score, that some example is added. Now again, that student is adding some more examples, and that is a good example is the many children who accompany their parents produce sale at the market. Okay, selling something at the market. Again, great example. They are working a direct contribution to the families in terms of labor or income. And the paragraph is completed. So again, the same strategy you can follow here. Write down the idea, write down the example, and then a little detailed explanation of your example. All right. Now, why is this written as example? A good example is but then there is no need to write it as good example. You can always write the sentence as a general sentence which explains your example. All right. Children learn, selling products or cleaning at young age, where they should be actually going to the schools and, learning and reading books and playing sports, but they do these odd jobs so that they can be a value to their family. See how you have written something similar but with different choice of words. We call it syntax, which means the arrangement of different words in your essay writing. It's very important. Arrangement of words. Whatever you write should make sense. You should not just purposely fit in the words just because you want to make your essay look very fancy and good. No, that's not your idea. Okay, let us move to another paragraph. Let's see what this paragraph has done. Children of poor families are also highly motivated. They tend to set high goals to improve their economic situation. Again, the same thing is written in a different style. That's it, nothing special. A relevant example would be Mr. Bill Gates. So a real life example is given. He had an impoverished background, but he used his talent and motivation to set up the world's largest computer organization. So what this paragraph has done is it has shared with us a real life example. So when you add a real life example, it will automatically add some value to the essay, that there is a reason that you're supporting this idea, you agree with this idea because you have a role model. So I would call this example paragraph where you can share any role model you might have in your life. It can be an actor, it can be an actress, it can be a sports person, it can be anyone. Okay, it can be your family, it can be your parents. You can literally add a real life example, or you can call it your role model, and that explains that why is very important, this word, why you feel whatever you feel. So a real life example paragraph will add a great value, I would say. All right, so this is a good code to break. Now, this paragraph was very straightforward, same thing written, given a real life example of how he had a humble beginning, I would say. Okay, I would not write poor lifestyle or poor beginning, I would say humble beginning. Okay, with very middle class values, wherein you have you spend every penny after thinking. You just don't spend money because you have to spend money. You have to plan a lot, you have to budget a lot, and which is great, because if you have a humble beginning, it helps you to have a great lifestyle. Okay, so good is just the beginning for the great end, I would say. Such things, if you write down in your essay, it helps your essay to, look very fresh and not to use any templates, because if 5 students are using the same template, the examiner is not someone who's just started checking the papers yesterday. They have a lot of experience, and they exactly know what you are doing. So I'm not asking you to write down the Bill Gates example again in the exam. Please don't do that. Be very genuine, be honest, and write what you feel, because that helps you to portray your personality, your character in the essay, and it will give you a great score. Okay, so now let us move on with the next paragraph. A very small paragraph. These paragraphs are very small paragraph. This is a very small paragraph. Now, however, there are some problems that children from poor backgrounds do encounter. Many of those children who are robbed of their childhood, example, while working, may feel cheated. They often turn to crime. This, however, is a small group. Now, this paragraph, I'll share something about my personal opinion. Okay, this paragraph actually shows that whatever he's agreeing with also has some problem. If I was a student and I have to go and write down my exam, I would skip this paragraph. The reason is that you have agreed to this topic, that children with humble beginnings or poor lifestyle in the initial stage of their life are well brought up because of the challenges in the life, the adult challenges. Now this does not support that agreeing thing, that you have agreed with that statement. It, however, shows the other side of the coin, the negative or the dark side of the coin, which is not, I'm not saying this is bad or this is wrong, but what I have read from IELTS descriptions about essay writing is you have to either agree or disagree. Writing such paragraphs shows that whatever you are agreeing with, yes, I'm agreeing with this, but then it also has some negative to it. Then why are you not disagreeing to it? It has a small number of people, it is a small group of people, I understand, but this is like being safe, playing safe, taking a neutral stand. So I would skip this, and I would not recommend you to do that. Don't have a neutral stand. As I said, if you are agreeing, keep your view consistent throughout the essay till the end. Just keep on agreeing. Okay, now, so I would not prefer writing such paragraphs if I agree with the essay. And now moving on towards the last paragraph, which is the conclusion. Very important for the essay, in summing up, which means it's a conclusion. So I have to show that it's a conclusion. This is very important word. You can write anything in conclusion, or to conclude with, anything is fine. Children with impoverished backgrounds, which is again from the essay title, just written in a different way, are able to deal with problems of adult life. Still from essay title, written in a different way. So till here, nothing special. Whatever he feels. Why? Because. So you have to give again a quick reasoning. Now reasoning, not in detail, just to the point. Whatever he or she feels, to the point. Because of early exposure. Now early exposure, I would actually explain here. Early exposure for what? Because early exposure, it's like an open world. What can I assume? Early exposure to tough challenges, to real life scenarios, to budgeting, early exposure to humble beginnings, or early exposure to budgeting. Something, some word has to be here to explain early exposure of what. Maybe that's the reason some marks were deducted and this essay did not get a 9 band. Family role models, okay, that's okay. And sheer motivation. Sheer motivation to what? Sheer motivation to work hard, or sheer motivation to achieve in life, or sheer motivation to achieve excellence in life. Something like that. You need to give a little reasoning why you are feeling this, that this should conclude in this way. So conclusion, again an important paragraph, but being straight to the point is important. It should look like a conclusion, short and straight to the point, and the reasoning why you feel that children could, children are they get trained well in life if they have a poor or humble beginning. So this is how you write down your conclusion. So I hope that breaking this code for a good essay helped you. If you are planning to write down your agree disagree essay, plan it exactly in the same way. We'll have a quick go through again, a good introduction, straight to the point, Body 1 and body 2, same strategy, writing an idea, and then whatever the reason is for your idea, then an example and a detailed explanation of your example. Okay, so choice of words is very important. Keep it simple, straightforward. Either agree or disagree, don't do both, don't be neutral. If possible, give a real life example to whatever you feel, any role model that you might have, that how that person had a humble beginning. In this case, obviously I'm talking about this as a humble beginning, in that how that person achieved excellence. Whatever example you're giving should be in alignment with what your essay title is. It cannot be off track. Prefer being either agree or disagree, don't try to be both. And then a good conclusion, which looks like a conclusion, short, straight to the point, reasoning why you feel what you feel. And reasoning should not be detailed, just the words, like keywords. Okay, I hope this video was helpful as to what can be done in an agree disagree essay. We'll definitely come up with more and more videos for essays and for every single topic of IELTS. But feel free to get in touch with us. Put comments in the comment section below if you want to share anything, and if you have any concerns, we're more than happy to address every single concern that you might have. Bye for now.